Hello, always in the other course I use GPA repository. This interface gives for us some methods for persisting an entity class into the database. But in this course we learn the entity manager. So GPA provides entity manager interface that help us persist an entity into the database. Manage life cycle of entity instance such as create, remove, retrieve, and query. So in this tutorial we learn how we can use the GPA entity in Spring Boot example with a CRUD operation, and I will show you how we can access GPA entity manager in Spring Boot. So first I need to go to Spring Initializer for creating project Spring Boot. So here I choose Maven and the version of Spring 2.77, and here in project metadata I start to customize my project. So here artifact write Spring Boot GPA entity manager. The packaging jar and the version of Java 70. Here in the right part I need to add some dependence, so I need to Spring Web GPA Lombok DevTools and MySQL. Finally, REST repository. I do generate my project and I take project to folder where exists Eclipse. I do past here and I will start to import my project in Eclipse. For importing I need to do file, import, I search Maven and existing Maven project. I do next. Here I search my project, Spring Boot Entity Manager. I select this project and here finish. So I see here Eclipse import all dependencies for this project. So I control here my project, I see POM and I find all dependencies exist in my project. Here I have my connector. So let's start to build our project. I close this window. First I need to create a model. With class tutorial. So for any tutorial we have ID and title we have description, finally we have publisher. I put some annotation here, entity, and table, name of table tutorial, for the getter and setter, if I see here, if I put data here, I see all the get and set here, so I can delete. So I don't see here the getter and setter, so I put another time again the data, and then my construct, another construct without attribute, and builder, finally to string. So I pass here to create my repository. So for creating a repository, I have two choices. The first one, I need to create interface tutorial repository, not class. I need to create interface. In package repository, with name tutorial repository, and this interface extends from GPA repository. And here I put long. So this interface provides for us some methods like save or find all or find by ID. So with this method, I can to persist my entity into the database. I turn here to tutorial because I forgot to put here ID and generated value with strategy and identity. So the second choice here in repository, I will create a class tutorial repository EntityManager. And here I need to inject EntityManager, private EntityManager, so if enter here, in this interface I find persist, I find merge, I find remove, and this method helps for us to persist our entity into the database. For injecting this interface, I need to put here outwired, or I want to put persist context. So with this method, I do my access to EntityManager. Here in this class, I put this annotation, repository, and transactional. So if I put here this annotation, which means I put all the methods here in this class like transactional. And I will start to create my method here in repository. So the first one, I need to create the CRUD. So I search tutorial with ID, public tutorial. So find by ID. Here with ID, long ID. So tutorial EntityManager, find a class, and my ID, and I return this tutorial. The second method I need to save. I need to save a tutorial. And for saving, I need to put persist here. EntityManager, persist my entity tutorial, and my return is tutorial. If I need to do update, so I need to put here merge, public tutorial, update. I put here tutorial, so entity merge, EntityManager point merge my entity. So here we have tutorial. And return tutorial. So if I need to delete, public, I need to delete tutorial with ID, delete by ID. I put here my ID, long ID. So here first I need to search my tutorial, and we have this method find by ID. So if this tutorial definite null, I can do remove. So here I return tutorial. So after I need to test this entity manager, here I can to do this in Spring Boot entity manager application. So I can put implements command line runner. So this interface give for us this method. So here I can to do run, and I can to do my implementation. And for testing, I need to insert something in our database. But first, I need to inject my entity manager. So here private tutor repository entity manager, tutor repository, and for injecting I put here auto-wired. So here I start to do my implementation. So the first one, I need to save some tutorial. So here, tutor repository point save tutorial point build point build. I need to save the first one with the title null and description null and published null. So for testing, I need to create a database, and for creating I need to go here in this interface because I have exam, and I will create my database. New tutorial tutor entity manager, and in my application I need to do some configuration in application property for creating or for connection with database. So for this configuration I can do copy from another project. I take all this line and I put here the name of database, and I can do now run. So I see my console here. I have Tomcast started in port 8081 and Hilo insert tutorial with description, published, title with nothing. So I control here in tutorial entity manager. I have here the table with ID 1, null, 0 and null. So everything is okay, and I turn here to save another tutorial. I need to save, for example, another 7 tutorial. 1, 2. So the first tutorial with title Spring Data. And description. This for description, and for published I can put here false. So here I can do copy. After I need to change some title and some description. So here we have Java Spring. Hibernate. Spring Boot. Spring Data GPA. Here we have GPA Entity Manager. And the last one, Spring Security. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, and here we have 7. I change some tutorial with true. This true, and this true. So here I see directly is all tutorial is saved, and if I control here in tutorial I find all my tutorial here. So I put this line in comment, and I pass to find some tutorial. So I need to search tutorial number 6, for example. I put here tutorial, and we have tutorial repo point find by ID, and I put here 6 but L because our ID is long, and system out my tutorial. So here in our console I see tutorial with ID number 6 with this title and with description and published. So here the number 6, if I turn here in database, so we have here tuto number 5 and Spring Data GPA. It's equal to this console. After I need to change this tutorial from for false to true. So here we have tutorial point set description. Here we have tuto file description. And I need to add Spring Data GPA. After I need to change from false to true. And finally I need to do my update, because update involves the method merge. So I do here system out my tutorial, and I will see here in the console the new tutorial with ID number 6, the title Spring Data GPA, and this description tuto 5 description Spring Data GPA, and publish it true. Finally I do delete, but I need delete this first one. So I turn here, tutorial to delete, so tuto repository or tuto repo, delete the first one. And system out tuto delete. So I see here my remove, and I control here my database. I do reload, and I don't find the first one. So here in this lesson, or in this course, we learn how we can use the entity manager, how we can access to the entity manager. Thanks, and join me in the next video.